Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO Ninjago movie set review. Today we have set number 70616, the Ice Tank. This set contains 914 pieces and retails for $79.99. It comes with one perfect bound instruction booklet that's, on the larger side, because it is a larger set. And the set contains 5 minifigures and this one build. There are no secondary side builds or anything. So the Ice Tank is Zane's really only vehicle in the movie. And it is scaled down from what you see in the actual film. In the actual film it's massive. Like the treads are twice as wide. It's 2 rows of them in the movie. It's kind of crazy big in there. But this is scaled down, and I think that it's an appropriate scale for what it is. It kind of reminds me of like a U-Wing mixed with the Star Destroyer mixed with like everything else. I don't know. It feels very Star Wars-y inspired to me. Oh, and a Millennium Falcon too. But we'll get into that, as we go through. We'll start by just taking a look at the back. These sections are on ball joints, so they can move around, and that's how they get them at this nice complex angle. And I really like that. This front center is on a turntable, and that's how it's just twisted, halfway, like 45 degrees. And I think the patterns on here look cool. These are done with tiles, the smaller ones, and then this one up here is a sticker to give it those curved edges. And it's the same on both sides. But that looks really cool and, very striking. It's not as closed up as it is in the movie, I believe. But, it's kind of cool, and you can kind of see the back through there. And I like how you're not just seeing random colors. You're seeing, actual parts of the vehicle. The little flags, there's 2 on either side, and they're pretty much the same. I believe this one's mirrored, just that the curved edges are on opposite sides. But other than that, the 4 flags are all pretty much exactly identical. The tank treads do actually spin, and there is a cheater wheel underneath here, which is a little bit more visible than I would like, but it does, make sure that this always will turn no matter what, because it's linked up directly with the axles. So you'll always have spinning tracks, even if you're on a hard surface like I am. Like, if you see, I'm moving this back and forth right now, just sliding it, and they just slide, they don't move. So, that's what it would do if it didn't have that cheater wheel, so I think that that's a nice feature to have. We'll look at the back section now, I guess, because we're here. And you can see, it's not great looking back here, but it doesn't look awful. It has this massive little ice tank, which is made of these 4 cone pieces, which were designed for the UCS Millennium Falcon, but used in this set first, probably to lower the cost that it would impact on the larger set. And inside here there are some blades made with Technic pieces, and you can see a couple of round cylinder pieces in there. This is actually a little kind of ice spinning machine. It's a little bit hard to demonstrate, but this would happen as the vehicle rolls forwards, because it's linked up with the wheel, so as it spins it turns this around. It's not super effective. I think it would have been more effective feeling if there were more of those ice crystal pieces in there. I'd kind of like to grab just a whole bunch of them out of my collection and just dump them all in there and see what happens if you basically fill the whole thing all the way. I would just like to know how that works, because at this point these blades up on the top do pretty much nothing because it never reaches all the way up. So, a little bit slightly disappointing, but it's a cool feature, and it uses a universal joint and everything, so the way you put this together is really interesting and works pretty well. The cannon up here on the front, the vehicle is designed asymmetrically, so it has a cannon on only one side, and this is just a 6-stud shooter. These sticker details are the same on all 3 of these, and there's another sticker there, but you just turn this and it'll shoot off studs, and you'll never see them again. So I'm only going to do it with just the one. I'm only going to shoot one away. But, it works the same as all of them. When you shoot them off in rapid succession, it works pretty well. And now we get to the cockpit. which is the last real piece. Oh, and by the way, there are some little details on the inside too, like this to cover that up on the opposite side of the cannon, you know. It's a pretty asymmetrical vehicle as far as Ninjago vehicles go. Most of them tend to be relatively the same side to side, but this one, you know, is pretty odd and asymmetrical. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it on the other side, but they do a good job of, you know, detailing the insides of these treads. I think a little bit too much blue shows up around the vehicle of just the regular blue. I think it would have been nice if they used like a light blue instead of this dark blue for just the filler pieces, or just kept it gray / black all the way around. A little bit of the darker blue, you know, I think works, but there's kind of a lot here. The front, though, has a lot of stickers. I don't think they would have been used. I don't think they would have been stickers in the movie. Not all of them, but I think there would have been a little bit more brick built detail on the movie version if it was full scale. But you know, it's scaled down, so they have to use stickers for the details. But like this, probably would have been a sticker in the movie. This here, you know, looks cool. I think that says Zane because it's, you know, the 4 symbols, and it says it's reflected on the other side and not just the same, you know, sticker or the same sequence. And I really like these stickers that go over the gap. You can move them closer together if you'd like, but I kind of like a little gap in between. Obviously, they should technically be connected, but it does show with the gap in the instructions, so that's how I figured I'd build it. It's also just easier to do it that way. And inside here, there's a cockpit for Zane. I guess you guys should probably see these stickers. These are a little bit of a pain to apply, but, you know, and it's also kind of disappointing that the print on the sticker is off-centered, so it doesn't work perfectly, but, you know, they're kind of nice. And there's a little console for Zane. And inside, there's only this this piece attached with clips, so you can angle it up and down, and that's how you are supposed to fit Zane in there. You're supposed to sit him on this plate, and it'll be kind of at an angle, you know, because that's just how it works. He does have these levers here, which, you know, you could put in his hands, at least one of them. I don't think they're far enough apart for you to fit both. But he can fit in there with his quiver and everything. I did take the bow out of his hands, but you could probably get it to work. But that's what it looks like there. I think that's a good look. But the other cool thing that this cockpit has is another window on the bottom, so Zane can see kind of underneath him. And the other thing this allows for is you can push him down through the bottom cockpit, and he can slide out and then, you know, go fight. And that would be, I believe they show him either leaving or entering the vehicle that way during the movie. I forget which way around, but yeah, that is a cool cockpit design and very unique, and that's why it reminds me of the U-Wing, because they use these cockpit pieces twice on the top and bottom. Obviously, Star Destroyer reference is pretty, you know, there, and Millennium Falcon too with the cockpits. It's basically Ninjago and Star Wars combined. You know, kind of drawing some very loose comparisons there. You know, it's also, you know, got the, I forget what those cannons are called, but those ones. Yep, it's got one of those. Yeah, just a very, very cool sci-fi inspired vehicle. If you're not into Ninjago or the Ninjago movie, I think that this is still a cool thing. And I think it's going to appeal to kids, you know, who aren't into Ninjago as much as some of the other sets, just because it's a very cool style of vehicle. Alright, so here's the Zane minifigure. The torso and leg print is very cool. It's the same as all the other Zane figures, but he's the only one who's completely based on a different color other than white. Everyone else has, or other than black, everyone else has a black body, you know, with accent colors printed on, and he has, you know, his Zane colored body, white, with, you know, black printed on top. The mask does have an exclusive print. This appears, with every version of the Zane minifigure, and there are much smaller sets that include it, but it is very cool to get, and the face print also is nice. He does have the ninja mask bottom piece in white, which only appears on these Zane minifigures, but there is one of his facial expressions. He's got the really smiley one. There's a very similar or a very similar face to this in the collectible minifigures. So it's kind of an easy expression to find. It's not exactly the same though, because you'll notice a little spot in the center between the eyes, and this one is the hair. But it's still kind of a more common expression than this angry one, which I think is cool and works very well for his ninja outfit. And he does get the quiver piece in black, which is pretty nice. I don't think it's very common in this color. And on the back he has his Secret Ninja Force logo and some good print back there. He does also come with a black bow and arrow because that's his weapon in the movie. It's kind of, I would have preferred to see shurikens. Maybe they could finally make them in silver instead of just gold. But I think that, especially with the way the Ninjago movie feels after, you've seen it, it is nice that they changed it completely from the show. I'll do a movie review eventually, but, because I might end up seeing it a second time in a day or two, so, I'll do it after that if I do. Otherwise, I'll just do a review. But, yeah, you'll hear my thoughts about the movie as a whole then. But, a cool figure, and, we're not going to talk about the fact that he's different than the TV show, but I think that, it's a cool design for the characters, nonetheless. Alright, the two bad guys in this set are both from Garmadon's Shark Army, and this guy over here, generic Shark Army thug. This one is named Angler, but that's really just because it's, an angler fish disguise. They both have fish sword weapons, which use like teeth pieces. This one uses a larger one, and the other one uses just the tiny individual tooth. The Shark Army thug has this hat in a nice medium nougat or dark flesh color. I forget which one is the actual name. But I like the facial expression on there. Kind of looks like a pirate. The torso and legs, they're nicely done, but they're very common, I believe. I think they're the same as like the other Shark Army thug who appears in, quite a few sets. The Angler, though, has a really, really awesome headgear mask mold, and it is an exclusive color, so very, very cool. Underneath, he's got, a nice mustache face. But there's just a nice look at this. It is a rubbery piece so that it doesn't break easily. And hopefully the printing doesn't end up, rubbing off over time with these guys. But it's very, very cool and an awesome piece. And this guy also gets a cool armor piece, which has the low battery symbol printed on there. And has a nice oxygen tank molded into it, and there's the torso and legs. I believe these are also used on Shark Army thugs as well. I don't know for certain. I don't remember. And I've only seen in person, like I think 3, including these guys. So I'll be able to tell you more as I get more of the Shark Army figures and do more Ninjago movie set reviews. But yeah. Anyway, these are the two bad guys. I think that they're cool, and it's nice that they included an exclusive one, but I don't think that they're the main draws to the set. I guess maybe one of them kind of is, but let's move on to the last two figures. Alright, so the last two figures are just civilians. There's nothing super duper special about them, except for the fact that, they are both exclusively named characters. I think both of their faces are exclusive. But their torsos and legs are shared amongst a couple other civilian figures. The Angler is also exclusive, so there are 3 exclusive figures in the set. These two, though, I think are pretty interesting. Torben is just a random civilian. But he looks really cool. I really like the torso and leg print they picked for him. I love the sandals. And the back print, they both get back print, and it's both very simple. Patty Key's a little dirty, which is a little bit odd. Again, they use this hat piece, which is really nice. Looks really, really cool. Torben's face is also a very nice print. It is a little bit of a shame that they're both scared all the time, but, you know, it's cool to get them nonetheless. Patty Keyes in the show, though, is, I think she was the real estate lady, or maybe she was the news reporter. I think Gail Gossip is the news reporter, so I think she is the real estate lady. And, you know, there's a little bit of resemblance. They both have black hair, but other than that, you know, they are different. I just think this is a little weird that she's the one who's all dirty. I think maybe they should have swapped the clothes around. I just think that this would have made a little bit more sense for a real estate lady outfit. But, you know, it is what it is. I think that it works okay. Because I don't think many people are going to make that connection. I think it's only people who are fans of the show that will. But I think that these are both pretty cool figures, and nice to amass, you know, a Ninjago civilian batch of figures, which, you know, really hasn't happened before the movie sets. To prove it can be done, I did fit Zane inside the cockpit with his bow, but overall, this is what you get in the set, and I think that it's kind of a mixed bag, but overall I think that it's a really, really nice set. The build is really cool. The figures, not all of them are really awesome, but they're very, it's cool that 3 of them, you know, are exclusive. There's nothing super duper special about the exclusive ones, and it's not like they're, you know, really awesome characters you're going to want to get. But, you know, it's nothing to be disappointed about. Overall, the design of the vehicle is very cool. The play feature doesn't work as well as I would like, and it doesn't add as much of the set as, you know, you would hope, but I think that it's a cool looking thing, and it's still a tank that rolls around, so that's cool. The price is very reasonable at $80 for 914 pieces. However, with the rest of the Ninjago movie sets being such a good value, this kind of feels a little bit on the pricier side, just especially due to the fact that the Fire Mech, you know, it's cheaper, but the set has just as many figures, includes the Zane figure, so a cheaper way to get that. Doesn't include any exclusive bad guys, but it includes 2 cooler, I think, exclusive civilians, and also includes Kai, and his mech has more pieces than Zane's vehicle, and it, you know, it's tall and cool, and mechs are awesome. So, you know, I would say the Fire Mech is a better set. I don't have it, haven't reviewed it yet, but, you know, that'll be coming up eventually. But yeah, overall, I think that this is a really awesome set. However, I think when you compare it to other Ninjago movie sets, there might be some that you want more, or some that are, you know, better overall. So you kind of have to like the design of the vehicle in order to want this set. But I think if you buy it, you will definitely not be disappointed. It's a very, very cool set. You know, the only thing that kind of makes, or the only thing kind of holds it back is the excellence of the other sets from the movie. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing that there are so many cool sets on the market, and they're all based on the Ninjago movie, so I think that, you know, these sets will all be pretty successful regardless of whether or not you like the movie. I think that'll, you know, the movie will help boost the sales, but I think that the quality of the builds themselves definitely hold up. So those are my thoughts on the Ninjago movie Ice Tank. Let me know what you guys think of the set in the comment section down below. I'm interested to hear what everyone else has to say about it. And also let me know which is your favorite of the Ninjago movie, you know, Ninja's vehicle sets. Because, you know, I'll be reviewing all of them soon, and, you know, gonna want to know which ones you guys want to see first, because I haven't bought them all yet. So, like, you know, if there's one that you want to see more than the others, maybe I'll review that, or maybe I'll buy it and review it sooner than the others. Anyway, let's just wrap this up, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.